Hi, I'm Johnny Seago, and this is another installment of Becoming Remarkable, where Emily Graham and I focus on one word every week or one idea every week to help you becoming even more remarkable than you already are. This week's phrase or idea is one of my very all time favorites, and it is time management. I have always thought of myself as a time management expert. And why is that? It's because I get things done. I love making lists. Don't you love making to-do lists? How many of you actually, when you do a task that's not on your to-do list, put it at the bottom just so you can cross it off? Raise your hand. I mean, really, there's no shame here. Yeah, I love that. I love feeling productive. So for years, that's what I did. I'd make a list the night before I went to bed and of what I was going to do the next day, and then I'd just start crossing them off. And man, I just felt so great about that. A couple of years ago, whenever I was writing my dissertation, I'd even post on Facebook. This morning, I washed all the sheets in the house, did 3 loads of laundry, swept and mopped the floor, and am now baking a cake. Until a good friend of mine named Christy called me out on that. And she wrote back, "So, what paper are you avoiding writing today?" See, I was working on my dissertation, and Christy happened to know, because she was one of my editors, that really I had a bigger task at hand, not all those little piddly mark off your list things. So this is my question for you. Are you really a good time manager? Or are you just making a to-do list and crossing it off? So here's how you figure it out. Stephen Covey said in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, think of the most important thing and start with that. So that's what I do now. I make my to-do list and then I label them, as Covey says, A, B, C, and D. A is, I can't sleep until this thing gets done today. This is important to me. B is, these are projects in the future, and I have to just make steady progress on them. I'm not going to always fight a deadline. I'm not always going to be right up at the wire and running on nervous energy and stressful operations. C are the priorities that, maybe they should get done today, but maybe they're like sweeping the floor and changing the sheets on the bed. If it doesn't get done today and you don't make any progress on it at all, it can wait one more day. And then the D priorities are really those you shouldn't be doing at all. They need to get done, and you write it down there, like changing the cat litter, but somebody else can do that. That's a delegate, a D priority. So go ahead and make your list of everything that you want to accomplish in the next 24, 48 hours. But make sure that you do the A, B, C, D priorities. Now, in another Becoming Remarkable, we talk about goal setting in all the areas of your life so that you know that you're working toward these big projects, not just in your business or organization, but also in your family and in your ministry or what you're doing at church or for some charitable organization. So we talk about that and how to break that down so you'll know the big ticket items that you should be working on. But that's the thing, is that you have to know what's the most important thing and put that at the top of your list. So you say, well, okay, Johnny, but it's like writing your dissertation. Like, that didn't happen in a day. No, it didn't. So my A priority then became to make steady progress on my dissertation every day. Well, how could I really evaluate steady progress? That's where a lot of people get bogged down in time management. So a few years ago, my good friend Erin introduced me to a technique that literally has changed my life, and it's called the Pomodoro method. And after I post this, I'm going to post some links to some ideas about the Pomodoro method. It's very simple. It just goes on the brain reality that we can only focus on something with true intensity for about 25 minutes. And that's that golden mean where we get very productive, and then after that our productivity goes down. So we might sit at that computer for 4 hours, but really we're not operating on all cylinders. So we work for 25 minutes, we take a 5-minute break. Then we get back, we work 25 minutes, we take a 5-minute break. Those work sessions with the 5-minute break are called Pomodoros. So every time I write, this is my goal, and then I set my timer for 25 minutes, and I make one 25-minute session of working on it, I give myself a check. That's one Pomodoro. I take my 5-minute break. It's very important that you get up from the table, you walk around, you go put a load of laundry in, get yourself a cup of coffee, whatever, that kind of thing. Only 5 minutes, so don't get all caught up in Facebook. Take 5 minutes, then get back to it. So you finish the second 25 minutes, second Pomodoro, check. I learned that to write one section of my dissertation took me 6 Pomodoros, okay? So that was very important that I was checking off. So I knew every time I went to write a new section, I needed to set aside at least 6 Pomodoros that day. I knew a whole chapter of my dissertation took me 28 Pomodoros. So I knew exactly how much work was going to be involved in doing that. So this is very important about Pomodoro, that you are on a time schedule. It's not endless, that you're not on an infinity task. It has a limit, and then you get breaks. And so that's what I want you to just try to think about implementing this week, even if it's just one major task. Use the Pomodoro technique this week. Thanks. Make your comments below and work on becoming more remarkable. Thanks so much.